this computer. This is one of my favorite assignments. Besides using functions, I get to see all kinds of really bad and some really funny, and I get all kinds of jokes. So I have a good time grading these ones. So I am in my Python folder and open with code, create a file called joke.py. Oh boy. I have my keyboard slid over. There. So I'm not going to go in and put in a bunch of comments and stuff right now. My comments will be verbal. DEF defines a function, and almost all the, boy, I don't know, I must be sitting weird. Okay, here we go again. MAIN, yep, there we go. So we've defined a main function. If you don't want the little red squiggly thing in there, you can put in something called pass, which just allows you to define all your functions before you put in code. Otherwise, it gives you a squiggly, and that bothers some people. So what are we going to do? We're going to call the setup function. Uh-oh, that's not right. So we'll call, oh, should be over. Oops. Get over there. There. Call setup function. Well, the setup function is going to set up the joke. How many chickens does it take to cross the road, or something like that? We're going to pause for the user because we don't want to have the punchline and the joke all at once. So we're going to pause for the user to press enter. That way we have suspense of some sort. Then we call the punchline. Function. Ta-da! Well, that means, of course, we need to define those functions. So how would we define a setup function?
Def.
You tell me exactly. Def. What's next?
Setup.
Yep. You can name it whatever you want. That's just what I picked. It could be joke setup. So we defined our function. I don't like red squigglies, so I'm going to type in pass. That just means for now we don't have to, take care of it. We can just outline our program first, rather than just coding from the top to the bottom. How do we define our punchline function?
Same
Way? Yep. Hudson, you're going to have to do something about the rest of the class. I don't know. They're just kind of sitting there. We do have to call the main function to start our program. At this point, Python just notices these and says, okay, I know you're here, I know you're here, I know you're here, but nothing happens with the function until you call it. And that's the term for typing in the name of the function so that it gets executed. So we could call our setup function right now, couldn't we? How do we call our setup function? Who should I pick? Benjamin. How do we call our setup function?
Just set up on parentheses.
Yeah, that's it. This is the signature. Def defines it. You call a function by using the exact name that it has. And you do the same thing here. You would do punchline. Just like that. It's the same as how you defined it. Oh, I put it in the wrong place, didn't I? Let's move that down. Now I introduced something new here. How do you get somebody to pause? You just type in input. Now we're not putting the input anywhere. We're just pausing the program. press enter to find out. Actually, they could press any key, but the any key in my keyboard is broken, so I usually use the enter key. The any key on my keyboard is broken. Okay, I got some at least kind of weird looks on that one. At least somebody is paying attention.
Ooh.
That is a really bad computer joke. Where is the any key? Yeah, I don't know. Mine's broken. So, because like you've seen programs that say that press any key to continue, but where is the any key? All right. So we have everything here ready to go. Now our setup is going to be pretty complicated, isn't it? Print the setup of a joke, print the punchline, and we're done. Not complicated, but it's not supposed to be complicated the first time around. It's just a fun program that lets us start working with functions. And please use your own joke. The one that's in the tutorial is my joke. I want to see unique jokes. I don't want to see the same joke over and over again. You know, part of what you're doing is you're creating programs for my entertainment, right? You didn't know that.